Let's see if we need to organize anything. Gosh, that's a lot of shotgun shells. Why does Sheva even have shotgun shells? I guess that's one of my problems with AI in this game. Like, I mean, well, I don't know, maybe it's not such a bad thing. It's just weird to me how sometimes the AI will, like, randomly take a whole bunch of stuff they don't really need. But then again, I guess it's good that, you know, they're just grabbing stuff just in case you need it. So, that's fair enough. Yeah, I guess as much as I want to make sure the inventory is just like, you know, there's practically nothing in it so I can pick up a bunch of stuff, that's probably not realistic right now. Okay, this level, I recall on professional difficulty being like super tough, because there's dogs on this level, spoilers, and they're a pain in the ass. More spoilers. I mean, maybe not so bad necessarily on, you know, this difficulty, but certainly on professional. In fact, I recall this section so vividly that I'm just gonna get this out. Actually, stick with the pistol because, yep. Ah! Aim! You're failing me! Horribly. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. We're starting to salvage the... Okay, what am I... Oh my goodness, you really gotta go crazy there. Now, in my defense, right there, that was because I've been playing RE4 recently in conjunction with this game, and the controls are quite similar based on the control scheme I picked, but there's enough differences that I'm getting all sorts of jacked up right now. Dog, please. Please. Okay. So, for instance, in this game, using the right stick to look around, you know, I can just do this. This is just me moving around. On RE4, it, like, pans the camera without your character necessarily moving. I don't know, maybe there's a control scheme in RE4 that is more like this game. But I'm pretty sure the one I picked was most like Resident Evil 5. Oh man, this is like super terrible. Hopefully I'm not saying that the whole playthrough. Hopefully eventually there will be a point where I'm just like, oh yeah, I actually did super well there and didn't screw up horribly. I don't think I have any grenades. I bet you Sheva does. I bet you Sheva has 100 grenades she could use right now. I would be a lot more okay, Sheva, if these dogs were no longer attacking me. Which at this rate is gonna be never. Please. Can we just be done with the doggos? And the hyenas, actually. Let's see. I never... Well, I wouldn't say I never realized, but I just, not until now did I fully realize just how often they have dudes with crossbows shooting at you. At the beginning, at least. I don't... Actually, I'm pretty sure that's kind of consistent through a lot of the game, if I remember right. Not totally sure about that. Okay, you dudes, can you just not right now? No, thanks. These things are also horrible. I wonder if there's a name for a particular type of, like, gameplay that Resident Evil seems to have, at least with most of them, maybe not all of them, but I might have even talked about this earlier. I have the worst memory. But this kind of thing where you kind of gotta, like, constantly be moving away from enemies, and even if you are constantly moving, you're only really ever getting, like, just enough distance so that you can get a shot in or two before you move, unless it's like a huge space. I think I did talk about that earlier, but it wasn't very detailed. I was just kind of rambling. But yeah, that type of feature I feel like should have some kind of name. Okay. Gotta make sure we survive the minecart ride. Minecraft is a dangerous place. Remember that part in Minecraft where you have to shoot at the claymores and the hyenas and the people with crossbows? That last part actually probably is a thing in Minecraft at this point. Yeah, the skeletons shoot at you, although it's not crossbows. Whatever. You know, you just... Sometimes you gotta settle when you're trying to relate Resident Evil to Minecraft, you know? Although, I don't know. Maybe there's more similarities than I'm giving them credit for. Maybe Minecraft and Resident Evil are essentially just the same game. Okay, yeah, this section kinda sucks with the bot. Well, it doesn't suck, it just... It's kinda like no matter what you do, you kinda have to deal with the bot being a little bit stupid. Actually not doing too bad right now, but we haven't done anything yet. So what this section is, I mean, if it isn't already evident, one of us has to hold this flashlight so that the other one can see. Wait, what the heck, Sheva? You combined the two green herbs into one? It didn't... Oh, no. Sheva, what are you doing to me? Sheva, give me my shotgun rounds. You don't have to put down your lantern for that. But anyway, one of us has to hold the flashlight so the other can see and shoot. So it basically means, you know, if your partner isn't aiming the flashlight in the right place, you're both just screwed. Sheva's actually doing pretty good right now, I guess. Ah, dang, I was really hoping this guy was going to take a lot more damage from those sniper shots. That's probably me coming out of Resident Evil 4 and being like, oh, the sniper's like the greatest thing in the universe. Whereas now it's just like, nah. There we go. For clarity's sake on me being confused between Resident Evil 4 and this game, I'm trying to make these... Oh, gotta stop. I'm trying to make these episodes feel pretty seamless between them, so it doesn't... It's not like I'm constantly going, hey, welcome to a new episode of Resident Evil 5. So, in reality, it's actually pretty often that I'm, like, taking breaks between episodes. But I just wanted to make... I want to make it feel a little bit more seamless. And, as a result, I'll probably occasionally start a part and just be horrible, like I was at the beginning of this part. I think I'm getting it back, but I was playing Resident Evil 4 for a bunch today, enjoying it, and kind of sucking at it, but not being the worst at it. And now I'm playing this game, and the relatively minor control differences are enough that I'm just like, oh god, what am I doing? Help. Sheva, you're gonna have to help me out here, Sheva. I thought I saw like a jeweler. So, yep, there we go. I was not crazy. I actually saw a ruby. Parentheses pear. I want to eat it now. Let's see. Kind of an interesting mechanic, and when I think about it now, I realize like this section with Sheva holding the flashlight actually doesn't last a very long time, but I can see why. I wouldn't really imagine it's a part that people would necessarily want to play for like a super long time. Oh, that's right, you can kill these dudes instantly with a flash grenade, just as I did there. Okay. I'm glad that I just randomly remembered that, because that's... Yeah, that's how you take those dudes out. Okay, well, I should have saved that flash grenade, but no, whatever. Is what 'tis. Yeah, these things just are bullet sponges, so anything you can do to take them out quicker is very good for your resources. I need to check how much damage this shotgun actually does versus the sniper, because I'm wondering now. Wow, now that I look at it, this is the same... I think this is the same exact sniper you first are given the option to purchase in RE4. But I can tell you this for sure. It ain't as good as the one in RE4. At least not to start out with, in any case. I don't know, maybe they wanted to draw out the upgrade system some more or something. That RE4 sniper was scary, man. Sheva, you can take that. I find it a little funny how RE4 is... You know, it's kind of a meme along with Skyrim of being like one of those games that gets released on every single platform. You know, even, gosh, I don't remember when that game was released, but it was a hot minute ago, certainly longer ago than Skyrim was. And it's just like, I'm not in any way surprised about Skyrim being that way. Skyrim is just, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to be a, what's the word, trying to remember the word for, oh, contrarian? Is that how the kids say it? I'm trying not to be a contrarian too much, so I'll say that I actually think Skyrim was, you know, a good game. Certainly not as amazing as sometimes made out to be, but I thought it was good. And based on, you know, it just being so hyped up and everything, blah blah blah, I can definitely see why it has been just released over and over again, even though I think it's just ridiculous. It does surprise me a little bit that RE4 has had that same treatment. But in reality, I'm not sure that meme is accurate, because at this point, for the past few years, like any game that was ever, pretty much anything except a game that was like completely just hated, that they just always get remastered at some point. I mean, it's like practically inevitable. If your game was beloved by even like a relatively small group of people, it's probably gonna have like, yeah, it's just gonna be remade, remastered. Yeah, remastered is the word I'm going for. A billion times over. And I don't know. I feel like these days remastered is, I don't know. I don't know if the way the way remastered games are done, if that's really what a remaster is. I guess it is. It just feels kind of weird sometimes that, you know, hey, Skyrim is getting remastered for like the third time or whatever. No, that doesn't sound right. But then again, maybe I myself am misusing the word. I guess maybe Skyrim's only been remastered once because they had the SE edition. Or is that, wait, is that redundant? Special edition? So it's just getting re-released? I don't know, man. I'm just struggling. I just said all that to basically just say, man, pretty weird to me how Resident Evil 4 has been, you know, released a whole bunch of times. Not that it's not a good game by any means, but just surprising. I wish survival horror had, I don't know, more like actual, like, really good, strong entries. Because a while back you had, you know, the Silent Hill series, which had some really good games. 1, 2, and 3 were all, you know, I gotta hold the phone for a second here and stop pausing the game on myself. Wow, this is... They are really throwing them at me right here. Gotta get out of here. Okay. They don't want me running past this guy. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. No problem. Alright, let's use some healthy heals. Wow, this is... How did I get into this situation? Trevor, you're not stealing my grenades from me. You know, I'm just gonna use this grenade right now. I can't be bothered. There we go. Okay, please, everyone, can we get some chinchillas? Just chill out, please. I'm sure the answer to that is just straight up no, but I can ask. But yeah, I forgot Sheva has that knife animation. It's pretty awesome. Okay, we have 3 of these dudes. Are you joking? Give me a break. Sheva have any... Oh, why can't I request that from Sheva right now? Oh, because my inventory's full. Okay. Sheva, I gotta eat this egg. Cover me. Alright, Sheva, I could really use that. Wow, she gave that to me really quick. Oh. Jeez. Thank you, Sheva. Wow, you actually... That was nice of you. I need to, like, get my bearings straight for just 1 millisecond. Okay, let's get fully loaded here real quick. At this point, I'm not even sure if I can recover whatever I was even talking about. Wow. Jeezy Louise. Wow. I had, like, totally forgotten how you really gotta, like, watch what you're doing. Gotta make sure a billion enemies don't absolutely fuck you up immediately. Okay. You don't need to do that. Don't. Please, no throw. Okay. Woof. Okay. We have 2 seconds to actually think for a second here. I'm sure after that's gonna be gone with another horde of 1,000 dudes. Oh yeah, no, oh, okay. Now I remember what I was talking about. So, I wish survival horror could make, you know, if they could just... It feels like Resident Evil and, gosh, what other, like, big survival horror series are there right now? I mean, I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, oh yeah, all it is Resident Evil. I'm trying to actually think. I mean, it's unfortunate that Konami, you know, is a thing. Otherwise, we'd have lots more Silent Hills. Well, actually, maybe that wouldn't necessarily be a good thing, considering the quality of games like Homecoming and Downpour and whatever else. But I don't know. I wish survival horror games in the style and, well, at least relative style and relative spirit of Silent Hill and Resident Evil could come about. There's always like 1,000,000,001 indie games that are more than happy to, you know, cross into that realm. But, you know, I'm not... I can appreciate a game of almost any art style and, you know, camera perspective, but I just have a much easier time generally with 3D, whereas a lot of indie survival horror games, of course, are like 2D, something like that. And of course, I guess, just to be like selfish or just honest, sometimes I just like the, you know, I like playing a game with really highly detailed textures and performances that tend to unfortunately be kind of more of a AAA or otherwise at least developers that have quite a bit of money type thing. Not to say I don't love indie games. There are certainly quite a lot of fantastic ones out there. Whoa, the area just went from blue to orange. It's like if you go to the movies and you're watching one based in Russia and it cuts to one based in Mexico. I forgot how suddenly that changes. How dark was it, or how light was it, I guess I should say, when we went into the mines? It was like pretty much the middle of the day.
So you must be Irving. Wow, perceptive, aren't you?
To this day, I don't know if Irving is made to look kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Like, his actual face, just, it looks so weird. And when I first played the game, I thought it was, like, purposeful. Like, they actually just made his face look like it was, like, almost just modeled poorly. But now I don't know. I don't know if they just couldn't figure out how to make his face look like a normal human face. Or if it was, like, totally deliberate. Like, let's just make him look like a fucking weirdo. And I love how he rolls out the window. He rolls out so lazily. Like, the masked stranger grabs Irving, goes flying out the window, and he just kind of rolls out lazily while saying, "Suckers!" I mean, honestly, that's some dang superhero or super villain material right there. I almost called him a superhero. What? What makes you think that, Chris? That's crazy talk.
Look at this.
The oil field. That's in the marshlands.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I honestly don't really remember where this game's plot, like, leads as far as the thread we're on right now, which is like, you know, things are a little wacky. There's something going on that we don't understand. I feel like if I really thought about it, maybe I could remember. Can I please just aim correctly? I think the answer is probably no. Okay, so we got this boy. What up, it's that boy. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy. Bazongas. Thank you, Sheva. At least you have more faith in me than I do. Okay. I'm actually hitting some shots for once. These crossbow guys, let me tell you. Okay, I didn't mean to reload again. Alright, alright. Doing some work here. Now, there's something strange about my tastes in, like, environmental preferences, like, where a game actually decides to base their game in the world. I find that, like, I'm far more likely to enjoy a game if it's in, like, a hot climate area, which is really weird, because it's just like, why would you just like a game based on its environment? Like, purely. And I don't mean the quality of their environments, I mean the type of environment they go with. And that extends to a lot of things. Like, I find things based in Africa, for instance, movies or or games, I'm like, that's sick. Africa's so cool. Like, at least the nature aspect. I just can't get enough. And I'm not sure why. It's pretty weird, in honesty. It's not like, you know, you make your game in the wrong environment, I'm gonna be like, get that out of my face. It's just that if it's in a warm climate, especially like a kind of dry one, I don't know, I'm always like, man, that's just so cool. I love that. Now that I actually say it out loud, I'm like, that is really fucking weird, dude. Man, these guys need to clean up these buildings. Look at these bottles, man. That's huge. Like, look at that. That's like as big as Chris's freaking, like, upper arm. What the heck? Party hard, man. I wonder if in Africa they actually, like, if that kind of thing is more prevalent, like huge bottles. As weird as a question as that is, I know that in certain places they, you know, sometimes they just choose entirely different shapes or sizes of, well, anything, I guess, really, but what I'm going for is, here is food and drinks. I feel like my tangents here are, like, unreal. If you want somebody to come up with some random tangents that are just totally bizarre and don't have much meaning, I'm your man. You got it. I feel like I've used that turret before to actually kill enemies, but mayhaps not. Okay, let's get some treasures here. Oh boy, got some enemies. Enemy spotted. My inventory is perpetually full. I keep forgetting this game even has a map. Like, I'm torn because I'm like, that map is super useful and I should really use it to help myself. But then I'm also like, yeah, but that's like, it's kind of annoying to have a huge map sitting up in the corner of the screen. Just can't win, can ya? It's how life be. Alright, dude, if you could just let me stomp on your head, that would be super cool. He decided not to be super cool. What can you do? That's life. That's what all the people say. Treasures? No. Not so lucky today. This game's music is also quite good. Resident Evil 4 and 5 both have really good music. I think 6... I don't remember 6 having a huge emphasis on the music. I'm not sure. Maybe it did, but I think it kind of... No, I remember some of the music. It had good music too. I think it did emphasize it a little bit less, but I think it was still really good. I hope it's not just me that has aiming problems in this game sometimes. I've never actually tried a... Oh my gosh, where did that come from? I've never really tried a mouse and keyboard in a Resident Evil game. Back when I played Resident Evil 1, I played it on a console. Otherwise, I might have tried it. Dude, please. Although, actually, in Resident Evil 1, it hardly matters what you're using as long as you can maneuver yourself, because aiming isn't really something you have much control over in that game. But... No, I wonder if this game came out at the same time on PC as it did on consoles, because I want to say no. I don't know why. I feel like this game is like the type of game that would have been on consoles for a little while first. There was a while there where like you know, when Steam really first came out, maybe not when it was brand new, but like the first little while, you know, of course that was the first time that we really got a big aggregator of PC games that was online and organized in that way. At least as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'm sure there were others, but none that I think ever got close to even remotely what Steam's level is. But even despite Steam's huge popularity, and it's been popular for a long time, I still feel like it's really only in the last, like, gosh, I don't know, last few years, that I've really felt like PC gets this at least relatively similar consideration as consoles do, and probably going to be an ongoing problem for a while that, you know, developers put PC last, or at least second to consoles. And not that I necessarily entirely blame them, even though it's annoying. I mean, I do get why they do it. Yo, can I, like, not explode for 1 second here? But what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad that games on PC have started to get pretty similar consideration to consoles, I feel like. I mean, back in the day, I got a Radeon 7970 when it was pretty much AMD's best card. At least as far as I know, it was basically their best card. And, like, I never really felt like it was that fantastic. I mean, it was good, but I just never felt totally super excited and wowed by it. And honestly, that probably was at least partly on me, because, like, I was busy playing games like Arma 2 that you can play on, like, the strongest computer in the world, and it'll still just be like, yeah, nah, I don't really want to work too well. As well as the fact that I just was not good at optimizing my computer in any way, shape, or form. However, like these days, currently I have let me think about my build. Oh my god, I'm actually blanking on my graphics card name. And it's not it. I built this computer. It's not like I pre-built it and was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna forget what the card is. It's actually embarrassing. It's an AMD card still. It's a very, very good AMD card made by Sapphire. I'm just gonna look up the name while we watch this cool cutscene. It's a 5700 XT, that's right. Which right now is pretty much AMD's highest end card. Obviously, Nvidia still has better offerings in terms of performance, but it's a very good card, and I actually feel very happy with this build. I can play just about anything and be like, hey, this runs really well. And I attribute a lot of that to, like, developers caring a lot more about, you know, performance of games these days. Okay, I have to ask. Was the driver of this car, did he fall onto the button or lever that opens that? He must have, right? Because I always just kind of assumed, like, oh, video game logic. The boss is in the truck, and the truck crashed, so the boss must escape.
I don't know what that thing is, but I'm sure.
Okay, this music track, because of the fact that I make my game kind of quiet so you can hear my voice well, I have no idea how well it'll come through. But I'll try to be quiet during certain parts. There are parts where it sounds... Oh, God, the boss is right here! Oh my gosh. But it sounds like somebody's spinning like a rusty valve or something, or a rusty, yeah, I guess a valve. Like it just sounds like a. Wow, that was the worst impression of ever. But here, I'll be quiet right now. Okay, you only heard it for a second there. I'll try and be quiet next time. But I always loved it. It's so weird. Like, why is it like the sound of like a rusty valve? But I love it. Okay, you should have been able to hear it there. I don't know. To me, it was always so unique and made the whole thing feel way more intense. I'm not sure why, but that might just be the, you know, rose-tinted glasses of my love for this game coming through. Which, in case I haven't really said anything like that, yeah, I do really like this game. Essentially being my first survival horror game for all intents and purposes that I can think of. I don't know, maybe I played something else before. Well, at the very least, the first survival horror game that I actually like played in full. How was that the first explosive you fell on, dude? Yeah, I don't know. I think this game is really enjoyable in a lot of ways.
What can we do to slow it down?
Although certainly not perfect. Certainly not perfect. Okay, dude, can you please just chill? The bosses are harder than I remember them being, and I kind of like that. That either means I've gotten worse, which is possible, although I doubt I've gotten significantly worse. Or it means that, well, I guess I just forgot. Which is actually extremely likely, considering the state of my memory these days. Sheva, I'm gonna need that mine from you. Why can't... Oh, right. I keep forgetting that, like, my inventory is totally packed. Alright, Sheva, please give me that. Oh my gosh! I don't think this boss is an instant kill, but I'm not exactly wanting to give that a, you know, attempt to make sure. Rather just, you know, beat the boss. Which I don't think this boss is particularly tough. The chainsaw guy that we fought, what was it, last part? That guy was actually... I was surprised at how tough he was. Okay, we killed the bat pig thing. It's so anime. I love the shot, but it's so anime. How did... Like, I've been blowing this dude up with mines. I've shot, like, 20-ish sniper shots into his weak spot. Nah, Chris kills him with, what, 3 pistol shots? I'm always like, what? How do you do that? But I actually really like it when they do that. Like in any game, I don't know why. It's so stupid, but it's great. Alright, let's see. Hey, we got an A rank. My clear time was really bad again. I'm a little surprised with that one. The last chapter, yeah, it was slow, for sure. That time I didn't think it was that slow, but yeah, I don't know. Who am I to speak? A person? No. Oh wait, no, I need to. Let's give Sheva some ammo. Let's take some pity. I like that you can combine the ammo that you find in the guns in this inventory screen, which you should be able to, but it's a very Resident Evil thing. But nonetheless, I feel like in Resident Evil like 6 or something, one of the Resident Evils that are like relatively recent, you actually can't combine ammo with guns to reload them, and it kind of like bugged me just a little bit. Not sure though. I'm trying to remember the next parts we have coming up so I can like kind of prepare my weaponry in advance. Let's see what kind of stuff we have. Okay. Man, first aid sprays are like super cheap. They're actually very generous. I should probably get a melee. Yeah, let's get a melee protection vest. You know what? Let's do it. I think this takes up a space in inventory. Yeah, it does. But you know, that's fine. I'm willing to sacrifice that. I wish my handgun was better. I'm really looking forward to when we get a new handgun. And Sheva has no ammo for her machine gun, so let's at least give her that much. She can give me her grenades. Wow, you can hold up to 5 grenades at once? That's kind of whack. That's wiggity whack, yo. Yeah, let's just take him out for now. I feel like I'm holding too many guns. Let's just take out the Dragunov for now. Okay, that's fine for now. We will survive somehow, some way. I think this part doesn't even have us using the inventory. Really.
Tough break.
Yes, but there will be other opportunities. Sheriff headquarters.
This is headquarters. What's your
I don't think I even really appreciated Sheva like that much when I first played the game. Back when it was like brand new. It wasn't that I disliked Sheva, I just didn't really have any kind of opinion on her character. And I will say I wish they gave her a little bit more personality and like backstory that you got to listen to and hear about. I mean, you hear more later, but I don't remember being that much. And again, like, I really hope Sheva like shows up later on in the series. If she hasn't already in another game, I bet you she has, and I just don't know. But I think Sheva's, you know, as far as Resident Evil character goes, I think she's a pretty decent character. Oh gosh, I forgot the gun even overheats. So, I'm not doing amazing at the moment, and in this section, you can't like heal. I think the only way you heal is via if you just fail, and it brings you to a checkpoint. So you have to, what you have to do is you just, anytime someone's like throwing explosives or axes at you, you really have to be careful to shoot them out of the air. And if you don't hold on during those sequences, the character like just basically gets whiplash and you lose health. So yeah, you gotta be super heckin' careful. Fortunately, Sheva seems decent at shooting these guys. Guess we're not doing too terrible. But I think this section kind of goes on for a bit. Now, I think I remember this chapter as being kind of a dividing point between like what I really consider the beginning of the game and the middle, because I think it starts kind of changing things up a bit after this point.
We're under attack. There are too many of them to handle. Reinforcements are en route. Hold your position until they arrive. Repeat.
Man, you sure hear reinforcements are en route a lot in the early part of this game. Like, come on guys, just how about help us out here? That'd be pretty cool. Is that guy actually gonna throw an axe from that far away? Warning shots? You wanna shoot, dude? I will trade you. I will gladly drive. I guarantee you if I'm driving, we'll lose these guys in 2 seconds flat. You don't know no getaway driver until you've seen me. Guess I'm not a great getaway shooter though. Alright. Now we got our heartbeat sound effect, which I do not like the heartbeat sound effect in games. The sound of a heartbeat freaks me out. And so because of that, when games are like, yo, when you're low on health, you're gonna hear a heartbeat sound effect, I'm just like, yeah, I hate that. I don't like it. Blood freaks me out super hard. Like, when I think about blood, just talking about it right now, my hands, they go a little numb, which I know is super weird, but, you know, that's my thing, apparently. There was just some point in, like, my teen years where my body was like, blood? Yeah, that shit's scary. But I'm not, like, I don't think of blood and I'm, like, disgusted. It just makes my fingers go numb. Which really sucks when I'm playing a game that has, like, super realistic or gratuitous blood, and I need to control it, and it's just like, yeah, your fingers just not gonna do their thing anymore. Sorry. The implication here, then, is that we've been driving this Humvee while these dudes attack us for, like, hours. Because, I mean, I know it was evening when we started this, but geez, you guys, it is, like, straight up nighttime. Okay, well, easy. Nothing to worry about anymore. No problem. Or is there? Sorry, I got a cough to break the suspense.
What could have done this?
Really? You have no idea? We saw a billion dudes dead earlier because of, like, a black licorice monster. Willy Wonka's taken over Africa, be afraid. I really don't think it'd be a good idea to get out of the Humvee in the middle of all this. And dude, maybe you should really have moved. Alright, well, it's El Gigante. He back. He got a beard. Yeah, did he have a beard before? I don't know, he might have. There he go. I like how he looks under his legs, like, how could you move out of the way? Alright, so here we go. Instead of driving away, we're gonna stand and shoot him. Which I guess isn't the worst idea, but I'd rather just drive away, to be honest. So, okay. Oh boy. I remember spending like 1,000 years on this boss fight on Professional with my friend. And, you know, I mean, even with how much I struggle with the game on occasion now, like, I think we were probably a lot worse in certain ways. So, like, this boss fight, we spent so long on it, just because on Professional, the thing is, it's already a little tough with the boss, because you really have to be extremely efficient and make sure you're hitting your shots or whatever correctly. But also, the dudes in the back that have the crossbows and the Molotov, oh, that's not good. Okay, thank you, Shepard. The dudes in the back with the crossbows, etc., they actually really damage you, and you have to, like, take them out immediately, constantly. Man, this thing is disgusting. Super gross. Man, I just got hit by, I think, a crossbow bolt, and it did, like, almost nothing. This boss fight looks really weird. Like, you can see that it's like I'm fighting a, animatronic robot. And imagine that. Imagine seeing this boy in an amusement park. That'd be as disgusting as it is terrifying. Although honestly, man, a Resident Evil theme park, that would be pretty cool. I think Silent Hill would make for a better amusement park, Well, yeah, Silent Hill would make for a scary one. Resident Evil would make for a cooler one. That's what I'll say. Because you could get like, man, you can make a whole attraction out of the Resident Evil 1 mansion. You could have the shark in his aquarium at the end of that. You could do all sorts of stuff. But Silent Hill would be a little bit more versatile, I suppose. You don't have to rely on preset locations so much with Silent Hill. That would kind of go against the spirit of Silent Hill after all. And that boulder did big damage to us. I feel like if you don't duck there and he hits you with that, you should just be dead. Just straight up, you just die. One more hit like that, we have half health, Shovel. What you talking about? I think we have to do this like 3 times total. If I'm thinking right. I mean, 3 is the number that game devs love. Well, that everyone loves, actually, in all fairness. It's always crazy when you play a game and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this particular, you know, objective 3 times to complete it. But then they mix it up. They do 4. That's when you're like, Lord, what's next? Never know. Shit, but I need you to like shoot this rock this time. Oh wow, I never realized he like has a just straight up dead dude like on his belt. There's a couple of them actually. That's pretty great actually. Let's see if we can make him drop this. Yeah, there we go. This, you know what? No, this feels like a you know, you go to the arcade. I don't remember what those shooting games are called. Like an on-rail shooter. That's what this feels like. There has to have been Resident Evil on shooter game. On rails games. Like an arcade. Official ones. I'm gonna be mad if there's not. Because as cheesy and cheap as those games feel, they also are like really stupid in a fun way. There we go. Wow, he just needed like 2 more bullets. Does he have like a animal on his back? You can actually look at the character models and enemy models probably just after you've seen them in the game in general. So I kind of want to take a look at this guy and just see if you can see what's on his belt there. Never noticed those details. Well, hopefully not dead, like the billions of other dudes.
You can still back out.
What about you?
I've got a personal stake in this.
A personal stake? Chris, look around. We should both get the hell out of here.
I'm not here.
Yeah, that's probably true.
What are you talking about?
A while back, I received some intel that my old partner was still alive. At first, I didn't know what to think. But when I saw the data file from Delta Team, I knew for sure. Jill is still alive.
That woman in the data file. Are you even sure it's the same person?
We were partners. I'm sure.
That seems a little far-fetched, honestly. Like, oh, I know my partner.
You're not going alone.
That's for sure the same person. No doubt in my mind. What if they actually found that person as just like someone else? That'd be the worst.
I'm going with you. These are my people that are dying here.
Are you sure about this? A second ago, you were ready to cut and run.
Well, not really. She just didn't want to be in a place that had El Gigante, man.
It's just us.
We're partners. To the end. Now let's get moving.
I simultaneously like this, like, yeah, we're buddies moment, and also I'm like, Chris, you're being overdramatic, my dude. Chill. Like, it's not like our... Like, what, are we just being rogue agents? Is that what he's doing? I don't know. What? I'm gonna just try not to analyze it too much. Let's just enjoy the fact that we just found a hovercraft, just chilling, sitting there, maxing all cool. Wow, that time I just got straight S's. That's... I guess it would be pretty bad if my clear time there was, like, horrible, but I think the only way I would do that is if I, like, died 100 times as I have previously.